Well, let's go from Mildura down to Traralgon in Victoria. Beautiful part of the world down there. Down here, sailed and absolutely gorgeous countryside. Down where a bloke that's on screen lives, and he's a fairly handy rider in Hattah, Johnny Contract.
He is, and believe it or not, he's not only one of the pace setters on the track, but he's also one of the guys we love catching up with off track because he's such a nice guy. And it's a big welcome to Daniel Milner. Hey, great to have you on board, Dan.
Yeah, thanks for having me on board. Eh? You talked me up a little bit there. That was pretty nice.
I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking, geez, where do we go from this? What if he really isn't a nice guy? Mate, I got to say, you look different to the last time I saw you, Daniel, for some reason. It might be something to do with all the mud that wasn't caked on you and you're like a drowned rat.
I actually got a photo up here you might want to see.
Yeah.
There it is there.
Wow.
Yeah, we remember that.
Just hold that up next to your face, mate. You look a little different now.
I look a bit cleaner, that's for sure.
That was just... Have you ever ridden in conditions like that?
I don't think so. Like, I mean, in America, we raced GNCCs over there that was gnarly. Like, it was muddy, but it was clay. So it's like, it kind of just sticks to you and it's real thick. And then, you know, nothing like that. You know, like the sand that we were dealing with and the... I don't know what you call that swampy stuff, like that low-lying swampy stuff that we're riding through it was definitely not pleasant on the eye, especially with, you know, losing goggles and stuff like that. And then I've never had one of them, you know, mask things that the girls do, but I could imagine that's what it felt like, real crusty in the face. So.
And it was incredible, Daniel, how fast it came in, didn't it? Like we started off and it was okay. In the first lap, actually, everybody really handled that so well because there was nothing there. Then it was like, well, hell just broke loose.
Yeah, for sure. And I remember sitting on the start line and, you know, seeing that black cloud rolling in and just thinking, oh, you know, it might be just a shower and it'll pass. And, you know, like I know the team, we had our bike set up for obviously sand. So, you know, the sand covers on the air filter and which, you know, if we rode a mud race, we'd have a different air filter set up and stuff like that. So, yeah, we had, you know, sand thinking that it was going to be just a, you know, normal Hattah and, go out there and have fun, and you know, we got a bit more than fun, that's for sure. Once that sky opened up, it was pretty hectic.
Well, one thing I can guarantee you, and Wade's across this as well over the years that I've been involved with Hattah since its inception, no 2 years have been the same. It's dished up so many different conditions and so many different stories in amongst it. And this will just be one of those ones that everybody will talk about, and people will wonder what the hell that could have ever happened like that. But it did, you know, and you were privy to actually riding it. So kudos to you for putting up as much as you possibly could on the day, mate. It was pretty incredible.
Yeah, for sure. And as you said, like every Hattah is different. And that's, you know, I had a fair bit of a break. I did it a couple of times when I was a junior. And then I think back when the Pony Express was there, I did it. And then I reckon I had maybe 9 years off or 8 years off or whatever it was. And then come back in 2017. And, you know, 2017 conditions were perfect. Could not get it any better. No dust. It was just unbelievable. And then 2018, it was dry, dusty. So, you know, different conditions to the year prior. And then last year, 19. And that was just, yeah, something else.
In the top 10 shootout at Bathurst, I've often thought to myself, why are they pushing so hard? Really, how much difference does it make? It's a 1,000-kilometre race. At the end of the day, you know, why do you really want to bother? Is pole really that important? I don't ever think that when I watch Prologue on Saturday at Hattah. I think these boys need to pin it because it makes such a difference. When you leave that line with 400 other riders, any advantage you get is going to help, yeah?
Yeah, for sure. And the last time I did it, I know that, you know, previous years, I think it was 2012 maybe or whenever it was, I was back riding for another brand, and on the prologue, I actually jumped off the start grid there and my tyre spanner ripped my valve out and I got a flat tyre. And I prologued like 87th or something like that, I think it was. And then I had to come through the pack. And that was a dusty year that year. And for me, that was pretty scary, obviously passing people, you know, in the dust and not being able to see. And I think I got myself to like 10th and then decided to hit a tree and then DNF. So, yeah, I mean, it's definitely, the prologue is really important for us guys to at least get in that top 5, you know, at least the top 3, really. I think that's the last few years, the top 3 have broken away on first lap. And that's, you know, that's the main thing. As long as we're around the top 3, that's all that matters. But obviously, you getting the prologue win, it's a bit more, I don't know what you call it, a bit more hype, and you get to, mentally, you go in there and feel confident.
Yeah, and I suppose the other thing is too, particularly when you're in a team and there's a number of you riding in the same group as such, having guys push one another into that top bracket is really what it's about, to making sure that you carry the whole team through. As much as an individual effort, the whole team come there to do so well, and you really need to spearhead that and take it where it needs to go to. So, another kudos to you guys for what you do.
Yeah, for sure. And I think just the whole atmosphere of being there for the Saturday, we get to watch the juniors ride and, and then, do our prologue, and they get to watch us hammer around. And obviously, you see some of my GoPro footage of, the prologue there, and just seeing the spectators on the track. It's pretty cool to see how many people come and watch just the prologue.
It's funny you mentioned that, because one thing I loved was seeing some of the champs do the medals for the kids as they cross the line on the Saturday. To me, that was something really special to see, that a lot of you guys take the time to do that. And a lot of them would remember, you guys remember a Toby Price or someone like that doing exactly the same with you guys. So I think at the time it must mean a lot. But when you come around a tree or you're out the back of nowhere, you must see some incredible people and some incredible things. Like, do you ever have a little bit of laugh to yourself and go, mate, just helped me out a beer as I went past, or they're all going, yeah, like, what's it like out there?
It's funny because 2017, there was a chopper there that year that followed us with the video camera and stuff. And that was probably the most surreal feeling I think I've ever had, is just having this chopper follow me a full lap. And there was spots there that it was low and like knocking tree branches around and everything like that. And at that point, I didn't even care. I was just loving it that much that this thing was chasing me, and I had my arm off waving to him and carrying on like a bit of a moron. But I was that excited that it was going. And obviously being that first rider out there, that you got the people that have camped there overnight on the Saturday night. So they're out the back and they hear that bike coming, and they're that excited. You just see them run from everywhere to the side of the track and just fist pumping, and they got pit boards right and whatever they want.
Oh, do they really? You got pit boards out there?
It's pretty fun. Majority, there's a heap of pit boards, but majority of the time you can't read it because they're half, drunk or anything. They've just scribbled some crap on it anyway. So, but I mean, it's funny. There's definitely some funny things you see out there, and especially, the big straight there along the road. That's always packed. So you're normally getting a good laugh out of people dressed up in a suit there, or something like that.
And trust me, if you ever manage to break down in any of the part of that circuit, there's always someone there that's got a beer for you, a snag in bread, or something that just you're never ever missing out on anything out there, seriously, because half of them don't even know how to get.
Funny you say that, because 20 when was that? 18, when I had my my start button problem.
Yeah.
We had a problem in the pits there, and my start button ripped out, and my bike wouldn't fire. So it took us a while to work what it was, and then we got it going, and then we went. And the last thing my mechanic said to me before I rode off, after we got it going, he said, whatever you do, don't stall it. So what I do, I get to the first big sand dune, and sure enough, I come together with a lap, I crash, stall it. And just like you said, there was that many people that just ran to me and just like asking what I need to do. And, there's a video that someone put out there, and it was like, they were all around me, and someone was giving me pliers, someone's giving me wire things, I'm stripping off wires, making sure we got it going and finished the race. So it's definitely cool to see the Hattah family and everyone that just loves it that much, and they're all out there to get us to the finish and just have a good time.
And that is really the magnetic attraction for everybody that comes to this event. And the fact that we're not running it this year through COVID conditions, there's a lot of people out there that are missing that. But I can guarantee you, like, we've been pulling it out to say it's going to be bigger than it's ever been next year. Trust me, it will be that. People are hanging to because they're missing this year, and they so want to come back and be part of it next year. So, mate, get ready for it. It's going to be a party and a half.
For sure. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I was looking forward to it this year, and then obviously, not being able to happen, we've got another year to get hyped up and getting going again. So it'll be good.
Daniel, Johnny gave me the rookies tour a couple of years ago and sort of took me into the medical facility, which is like an episode of MASH in there. Like, it's just incredible, the medical facilities that you guys have to support. Ken Reid took me for a lap on the Saturday in the four-wheeler. to get a look at how big the circuit was for the prologue track. And then Johnny took me into the pits first thing like Sunday morning and said, this is part of the racetrack. And I said, excuse me? And he said, that's the fast lane out there. There's the middle lane, and that's where you're going to drop into pits. And everyone's got their little bunkers where they're working from, and their enviromats. I can't imagine anywhere else in the world where you race through the pit area. Can you explain to people who've never seen Hattah before how that system works for you as a rider?
Yeah, it's definitely different. I know that it's funny because our Australian Off-Road Championship has now copied you guys in the whole pit setup, which previous we used to have to like pretty much do walking pace, which, you know, for us guys, it's hard because you're going so fast on the track, you get in there and you just, you know, you're not patient. You just want to be going. So for how you guys set the, you know, the pits up, I think honestly it's definitely the best pit setup, you know, you can do. Just being able to, you know, translate from the racing line into the pit lane there, I guess you'd say, where you got to slow down into your pit and then jump back out. So you don't really lose much time where, you know, other events have it where you do lose a lot of time and it's, you know, it's costly to get fuel, which I know, you know, for a lot of guys riding different brands and different bikes out there, you know, not everyone's got the same fuel tank. So, you know, if we can get in and fuel quicker, then, you know, losing so much time being able to go in there, it doesn't matter what size tank you got on your bike. You can get in, get it done quick and get out. So that's the best thing about it. And especially for us guys, you know, getting a bit of fuel in our body and getting some food and getting back out there for such a long, gnarly race.
And the fact that it's such a big lap to complete, you get so many spectators in that main area that actually get to see you guys on a number of occasions. They get to see you coming through where the laps are collated. They get to see you through the pit area, the exit going out, and all those bits in between, let alone being out on the track everywhere. So it really is a track that caters for not just you as competitors to provide you with what are the best conditions that we can give you and all the support with the pit area, but it's also for the spectators to just love the event for what it is.
Yeah, for sure. And what I think is cool now is having the big board where you can, you know, watch and see the live timing and, you know, the tracking. I think the tracking thing's a really cool thing. And, you know, obviously being able to stop, you know, people if they do decide to cheat, which unfortunately in this sport, it does happen. So, you know, being able to have them trackers on us and know where we are at all times is an awesome thing. And then, you know, when the race is getting real close, you're able to see the people battling and go from there.
Well, I know from Wade and I's point of view, you know, we rely on that data so heavily, and we can see that. And believe it or not, even though you guys are not in shot yet, we've built the crowd because we can see what the numbers are that they need to fall like. And that's when you guys get there, you hear that roar because they know you've made time or whatever it is that's happening. They are glued to what goes on. And you're right. It's so important that we see all that now.
Yeah, for sure. And like, honestly, it's just getting bigger and better. And that's the best thing about this, you know, the Hattah Desert Race. It's just, it's one of them races. It's the most enjoyable race, I think, in the country. And, you know, it's only going to keep getting bigger and better.
Daniel, in motocross or supercross and other forms of motorcycling, you want to have clear track. You want to be by yourself. You want to have your own flow, your own rhythm. When you're on a track that's 30-odd kilometres long, is it a bit of a relief to actually race with someone? Like if you're at the same speed, like say you and Chucky are going at it, would you rather be on your own and having to stay mentally, you know, attacking on your own, or would you prefer to actually get out there and have a crack with someone?
I prefer to be battling with someone, to be honest. Like I'm one of them guys that, you know, you get out on your own and it's just not enjoyable. Where like I still love racing, I enjoy it. So it's as much as it is my job, and I'm all about winning. I love being out there battling. So, you know, my game plan is to normally battle with someone for as long as I can in the race, and then, you know, once it gets to the hard part, you know, the last hour is drop the hammer and you know, try to get that gap. And if it does happen, then, you know, it's that last hour is long by yourself. It's like the longest hour. It's almost like the whole race is, you know, that last hour. It's pretty crazy, but it's definitely fun battling. It makes it go, you know, being 4 hours, it makes it go that little bit quicker.
And I suppose the other thing now, you know, with COVID, we spoke about, there's a lot of taper off with the events that you are racing. And that fitness piece, it's really hard to stay fit to a point. And racing is the bit that makes you mentally sharp, race sharp, and physically as well. And I suppose there's a point where you can sort of still train too, but not quite go to that last step. And I suppose everyone's doing the same thing, trying to get there and stay there. So when it all happens, you've got that smaller step to take to really be the sharp guy at the front.
Yeah, for sure. And you can never have your training as good as racing. That's for sure. No matter what you say, what you do, you can never, exactly what you said. You can't have that sharpness. So for me, I'm lucky enough that I work with Ross Beaton, who, we've got a good crew that we train with, and we pretty much try to make it as close as we can to a race with one another. And, I'm training with real fast motocross guys, and then, we've got some off-road guys, so it's good. So we've got a mixture that helps us. But, with these times, we've had a little bit of downtime just to try to get away from it a bit. Obviously, you can't keep the fitness, all year long, especially with everything that's going on. We're getting false hope. We're getting, getting told that we're racing in a couple of months, and then all of a sudden another spike of the COVID happens, and then it gets put back again. So it's hard. Like, it's definitely mentally hard, not just knowing that, we have something to look forward to, and then all of a sudden it changes again, and it's just like your heart sinks. You're just like, I just want to get out there and race. But I mean, it'll pass. It'll all pass, and we'll eventually get back to doing what we love. And when we do, we'll probably take it. We'll respect it a lot more, I guess. There's a lot of guys that kind of, they. For what we do, we get to live the dream. We get to race motorcycles for a living. Some people do take that for granted, I think, and they just need to sit back sometimes and just think, how good of a job it is. And honestly, these times have made it, made me definitely sit back and just think how lucky we are.
Milner, next year you're gonna want to win this thing back to back, and you're gonna want to do it the entire distance. Like, it was biblical last year, and the weather. I remember saying to you not before it went, have they ever actually cancelled this? And you're like, oh God, no, they don't cancel this, mate. They race rain, hail, or shine. But you're going to want to back this up with a solid run right to the very end, full distance next year. That'll be just as satisfying for you, I would imagine.
Yeah, for sure. And honestly, last year I was coming in not prepared at all, and I got lucky, to be honest. Obviously, Chucky had some bike problems, and that for me, it helped me out. And just knowing coming into the event, I had no preparation. I think it was 2 months before it. It was a month and a half before it. I was in America and crashed and broke my collarbone. And then, we come home as soon as I could to get it operated on to go racing, which obviously the next race was Hattah. So I was pushing to be on the start line at Hattah. And yeah, it just kept snowballing. I had got arm problems after that. I think I had 2 days on the bike. So that for me was, a struggle. And to be honest, I was so lucky that the race got called so short. I think if it was 4 hours, I would have had snotty breathing down my neck. So, it was definitely one of them things that, I was lucky. And next year, this year my plan was there's a reason why we bought a property that's real similar to Hattah. It's because, it's one of my favorite races, and it's one of my races I want to keep winning. And, we'll be definitely coming out swinging next year. I'll be doing everything I can.
Because I know when we had the Friday night opening for the event, which is something that's also quite unique too for events like this, where it gets everybody together, and we have all those free open pieces for people to just have a look at and get to know people and riders and all the rest of it. And in that interview, you made mention of the fact that, you really had a very short prep for it, and it was really going to be a tough uphill battle. Not knowing that Mother Nature took it on board and said, I'm going to give the whole lot of you a bit of a douse and say, all right, you're probably not going to have her on your side next year, but, it is a pretty incredible story to not only see what happened, but to be at the top step after all of that. It's like, incredible.
Yeah, for sure. To be honest, it's definitely one of my most emotional wins I've ever had. Obviously, I've achieved a lot of stuff over my career that I'm pretty grateful for. And, 6 day, obviously winning a world 6 day was something I chased for years. And being able to win that was awesome. But just, the effort that we went to, the pain that I went through with all this, just this niggling injuries that I had going into this race, and to be able to finish it, I just remember, that feeling of when I finished it, and it was just like, I think I cried, to be honest. Like, I just had tears in my eyes, and yeah, it was an awesome feeling, and having my family there, and my physio that helped me through it all and get me, into the surgery as soon as we could and get everything happening. And my, my mechanic at the time, Mick, my mechanic, and my team manager at the time, GK. It was just an emotional win, and it was so awesome to do.
Well, if there's any consolation, it didn't wash away too much of the mud, mate. Seriously, so pretty awesome.
That's it. It was definitely, I don't think anything was washing that mud away.
You got to, mate. You got to hold that photo up again for us one more time of that newspaper headlines. Really good to catch up with you, mate. Enjoy your Sunday. Hattah Sunday this time. You know what? If you were committed, you could run out the back of your yard on Sunday morning and look the same way for us and send us a photo during the live cross. All right. So the least you can do, Milty, is give yourself a bit of a facial, mate, and send us a photo, okay?
Well, it's funny because I'm meant to be doing a riding school on Sunday, and last thing I've seen, it's meant to rain. So who knows? You might get a photo of me covered in mud again.
Well, I'll give you Johnny's contact number right now.
Yeah, thanks.
Good to catch up with you, Daniel. You're a bloody champion, mate. What a class operator too.
He is, and he's such a great guy to talk to off the track too. You're looking forward to catching up with you. The drinks are on us next time you come up, all right?
Perfect. Thanks very much, guys.